As we continue with our nationwide coverage of the South African Airways strike, we cross now to our reporter who's based in Mpumalanga, Tumelo Mashoko, who's at the Kruger Mpumalanga International Airport. Tumelo?
Well, Nompu, not much is happening here, not because there's a protest that is happening here at Kruger Mpumalanga International Airport. There's only one airline that is actually connecting flights to Johannesburg and Cape Town, and also Livestone that is in Zambia, and also Valankulus in Mozambique. But here the airline has not had any protest so far. The people have reported to work because they're not affiliated to SAA, but also the people that are flying SAA, that will be connecting flying SAA when they get to Joburg, especially tourists that are also have come to Mpumalanga to come and see the beauty of this province. They're telling us that one couple, they are coming from America. They were telling me that they've been here for quite some time. Now they're flying to Johannesburg today with Airlink, but tomorrow they're flying to Mauritius to continue with their honeymoon. But they are worried because their flights is connected. They booked their flights through SAA, so they're not sure what's going to happen for them tomorrow because they're flying there tomorrow. But also we're getting a lot of complaints from people here. They're saying that they've been trying to book through to book other airlines such as Mango, but also those airlines have not been receiving anything from the airline. One couple was telling me that they've been trying to change their airline, their flights rather from Mango, the times to change their times, but that has not happened because now the Mango has been charging them 3 times on their credit cards because the money is not going through. They're trying to call the airline, but Mango is not picking up the phones. They've actually come to this airport and also to try to speak to SAA Link to try and make sure that they get another airline that they can also fly to where they want to go to. But also it's been a very a bad situation especially for tourists because they've come here, but also they want to fly to other areas such as Cape Town. When they get to Joburg, they want to fly to Cape Town, so they can't fly. They've been telling us that off camera to say to us that they will have to stay in Joburg for a couple of days until the strike is been averted. But also these people are very concerned that maybe this airline was also going to have like a protest because one gentleman is flying to Durban was telling us that he was worried in the morning that the protest has begun, and also he had to call the agency that the travel agency that he booked through to make sure that he can fly to Durban this afternoon. Arabile, back to you.
Well, certainly it is, as you've noted, quite an interesting situation that has changed across the country. But for now, let's chat to SAA spokesperson Tladi then, and perhaps get an update with regards to proceedings thus far. Tladi, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it. I believe there have been a few changes as well to proceedings and how things fare right now. Won't you just give us an update?
Yes, we will like to provide an update in the form of the changes that have happened operationally. We have since taken a decision to extend the flight cancellations for Sunday and Monday on all flights that will be operated by SAA on the domestic and regional markets. We are, however, pleased to announce that we have taken a decision to reinstate all our international flights that will start operating from OR International Airport as of Sunday.
Why the discrepancy and why the change between the two, as in why do you not have international flights also being sort of delayed or not operational?
These decisions are informed by a number of operational considerations, and these include availability of your crew that will be able to operate your flights. As we are dealing now with an extraordinary situation, we have to make a call, a judgment call, on the basis of which we are able to make an assessment in terms of the impact these changes have had on our passengers. We have cancelled all flights for 2 days, which is Friday and Saturday. However, on the basis of a customer facilitation framework that we have put in place, we have been able to facilitate the transfer of our passengers, especially on the domestic and the regional segment of our network. So on the basis of that, and having carried out an assessment in terms of us being able to make a determination that based on those employees who are available to continue to work, who should be able to operate the flights, which flights can be reinstated in order to mitigate or to minimize the impact of inconvenience on our operations, and also to mitigate the risk of their financial exposure insofar as our operations are concerned.
Yeah. So just to clear things up then does that mean that you've worked out a way to perhaps get this impasse sorted, or does that mean that the impasse still remains and no deal has been set between yourselves and the unions?
The deadlock is still there. Unions are sticking to their guns. We are talking about SACA and NUMSA, who have not moved 1 inch. The needle has not moved insofar as that is concerned. And we continue to urge unions to exercise some flexibility and approach the situation with open minds. We have demonstrated our willingness to be reasonable under the circumstances, and we are saying that ever since we started with a 0% increase, we have moved and presented revised offers on at least 3 occasions, and we have seen no goodwill being shown by labor unions. I think it is important that all of us must understand the impact of a protracted strike action. The financial exposure is serious. We are exposing ourselves to revenue loss in the amount of 52 million rands a day. And if this runs for an extended period, we run a risk of having the company facing the prospect of folding. In that instance, there will be no winners and losers. There will be only losers and losers. It is how serious the situation is.
Are you able to share with us what the latest offer is then to unions? Does it still remain at 5.9%?
We are not able to move beyond 5.9. The reason we have expressed and placed the offer on the table in the terms that we have is informed by a number of considerations. There is a perception that because the airline is in the process of seeking additional funding in the amount of 2 billion rands, that should be able to accommodate the demands of the union. That is hardly the case. We need to make it clear to all and sundry that the funds that we are trying to raise at the moment are intended to serve as working capital for the company to continue to operate. That money will not even be able to accommodate the 5.9 increase, which is a proposal and offer that we are presenting to labor. What we are saying is that once they accept the offer in the terms that we are presenting to them, we should have an opportunity for us to go out in the market in order to raise more funding that will enable us to accommodate the demands as they have expressed. The latest offer that was presented to them, as opposed to a previous one, this time around we are saying we should be able to meet their demands insofar as the terms of payment are concerned, where we say the 5.9% that we are offering to them, we'll split it into 2, where the first payment will take place in April and the second one will take place in October. We are still willing to reconsider the payment terms insofar as that offer is concerned. However, it is not possible at this stage to present on the table anything markedly different beyond the 5.9 salary increase.
Yeah. Is the 5.9 just for 1 year, or is it an annual sort of increase over a number of years?
As matters stand at this stage, that the 5.9 wage offer increase is meant for 1 financial year.
At this point, are you finding that you're able to communicate this better perhaps to whether it be passengers, other customers and the like as well? We've gotten to speak to a few customers and they felt disgruntled that they haven't had the opportunity to be communicated to properly with regards to the changes being made.
The changes that we have made insofar as the operational situation is concerned are communicated through a number of channels. We communicate to the market through yourselves as the media, as our important stakeholder, but we also use our official channels of communication where we provide operational updates on social media, on our Facebook, through our all customer touch points. But beyond that, we have travel agents with whom majority of our bookings take place, and these agents have information and contact details of our customers, and they are able to liaise with them directly. It is important to stress that we are keeping an eye, we are monitoring the situation insofar as the operational impact is concerned, and it is one of the considerations that has enabled us to say, based with the situation that we have at this stage, are we going to make a call to reinstate service in the domestic market, in the regional market, or in the international market? We took all of those factors into account, and we came to a conclusion that our domestic and the regional markets are reasonably safe in terms of the facilitation that we have in place, but the international part is the one that is exposed the most. Hence, based on the numbers that we have, we are reinstating the service as of Sunday.
Pretty much saying 208 million is what you may lose with regards to these 4 days. What's the breaking point?
Look, we do not want to start focusing on the breaking point. We want to channel our energies without losing sight of the fact that it is a reality that if we are not able to have a middle path insofar as the issue is concerned, we may have to consider that option. Our energy and focus remains on getting labor to work and to work with us towards finding a lasting solution, because it is not in the interest of anyone to have this impasse between ourselves. It is going to result, as I indicated, with losers on both sides of the divide.
Sure. So just to finalize then, would you please confirm again to us, you say the updated version now is?
The updated version insofar as the operations are concerned is that SAA has taken a decision to extend flight cancellations for Sunday and Monday for flights operating in the domestic and the regional segments of our route network. That means flights that will be operating to various destinations on the African continent. What we have put in place is an arrangement to facilitate for travel for those passengers who will be impacted by that a particular cancellation, where our partner airlines will be able to accommodate and assist passengers who are traveling. We have Mango Airline, which is our subsidiary airline, that will be assisting passengers who are traveling on the domestic market, and we have SAA Link that will also taking the bulk of the traffic that will be taken to various destinations in the regional market.
Clady, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it there. Well, there you have it. That's pretty much the confirmation then there coming through, of course, from the spokesperson of SAA, Mr. Clady, with regards to the cancellations then being continued on the regional and local market then when it comes to those flights for Sunday and Monday. The international flights do, however, return back to normal on Sunday, that is. So certainly the updated version does tell you that things are still at an impasse between unions and the SAA management. Liquidation has been a question that's been thrown around quite significantly as well, and the question around just how much SAA can afford when it comes to this, despite needing at least 2 billion just as working capital, is the question at hand. Mbalenhle, certainly the unions on that side will certainly say that they will not move and they will not go any further until their demands are met, Mbali.
Yes, indeed, that is the case, Arabile. Workers here have been saying that they are not going to stop striking or go back to work until the airline basically meets the demand of 8%. We know that SAA had initially given the